Okay, so let's start. So in our previous class, we have seen some basic Bootstrap, how to add it. We saw about containers, headings, paragraphs, then some text align, and we saw some basic utilities and basic helpers. Okay, so in this class, we'll see a lot of things like advanced utilities, advanced helpers, many things. But before that, let me show you something called components. Okay, in Bootstrap we have some components. So now we will see only basic components. Later on we'll see some advanced components with interactivity. Okay, so let me start this. Yeah, so this was our previous class file. So I'll create one new file, class 2.html. Yeah, so in Bootstrap, a lot of components are there, but before diving deep into the components, I just want to show you only two basic components for now. Okay, one is the buttons. How can we customize buttons? How we can change their looks, how we can change their background color, how we can change their size and all. Okay, we'll see those things. And then one more component is there, that is card. Okay, I hope you know about cards. So we'll see these two components first, then we'll continue with our advanced utilities and advanced helpers. Then at the end we'll come into the advanced components as well. Okay, fine. So let me do one thing. Let me go to the previous class and just copy those things. These are the CDNs we need. Okay, let me copy everything. Paste it here. Okay. Yeah. And we can remove these. Okay. Now. So now this is the raw thing that we have. We have the CDN here. We have the script tag here. Okay, that's enough. Now let's see how do we create the button. So let me create just one simple button. How does a button look like? So let's say I right click me. Okay. So this plain button, how does it look like? So it looks like this, isn't it? Let me put something. Let me put a margin top at the container, empty 4. Yeah. So this is how a basic button in normal HTML looks like. But we can customize it using Bootstrap. Okay. Okay. So we have a lot of classes. We need to just apply. So the first class that we need to add is Btn. Okay. Now let's see how does this Btn looks like. It looks like this. Okay. Initially it has no border. When I hover over it, I get some border. Okay. But this is a very plain button. It is not even looking like a button when we don't put our mouse over it, isn't it? So we need some more styling. So what we can do is we can apply some backgrounds. So here for buttons, we don't use BG primary, BG secondary. Yesterday we were using BG, right? Where did we use? Something like BG dark, BG success. We don't use BG class for buttons. If we have separate class for buttons called Btn hyphen. So Btn hyphen anything, Btn hyphen primary. So if we use Btn primary, so it will get this kind of styling. Okay. Then we have So the same things can be done: Btn primary, Btn secondary, okay, Btn info, okay, then Btn success, okay, then Btn warning, then Btn danger. So whatever whatever colors we use for the background and text, same colors can be used here. Okay, so these are button classes. Okay, then we have some other styles as well. So this kind of buttons, you can say that they are having background, they are solid colored buttons. That means they are having a fixed background, they are having a red, green, yellow, something like that. But we have something else as well, like for example Btn outline danger. Okay, what will happen here? It will look like this. When I hover my mouse, then it will look like a Btn danger, and now it is Btn outline danger. So same thing can be done with anything. Okay, like warning or something. Okay, so this is how Btn outline works. So these are outline buttons. Okay, then this is the normal size of a button. So let me make it Btn yeah danger. It is more visible. Okay, so this is a normal size. Okay, but we can even increase the size of the button. Okay, so let me put a class called Btn LG. Btn LG means Btn large. So large button. So it has become a large button. Okay. In the same way, we can make it small as well. Okay. So instead of LG, we'll use SM, small, Btn small. So it will become small. This is smaller than the normal one. So let me make it normal. I just remove Btn SM. It will become little bit bigger. And if I use Btn LG, it will become more bigger. Okay. So these are the sizes, colors, backgrounds, all those things. Okay. Then we can even so that's it. But these buttons can be made disabled as well. So let me remove this outline. And so what we do normally, if we want to disable a button, we just write the disabled attribute here, and it makes it disabled. So now it can't be clicked. Okay. So that's it for buttons. Okay, so let's move on to our next component, that is the cards. Okay, what are cards? If we see, if we just search in Google CSS cards, so how do they look like? So they look like this kind of things. Okay, these are cards. This is one card, this is one card, this is one card. Then these are all cards. This is one card. Okay. This is a beautiful card. Three cards are there. Post one, post two, post three. Okay. So yeah. So let's see how do we create the cards. So after this, so for this we have a set of classes that we need to use. So first, let me create a simple card. Okay. So we take a div. Here we write class is equal to card, and then inside the card we have another class that is known as card body. Okay, and inside the card body we write whatever we want. Okay. So let me write here, this is the card body, write whatever you want. Okay, so now let's save this, go to the browser and reload and see. So this is how, okay, let me put some margin for the buttons. Oh, I didn't put it in the container. Okay. I'll put it in the container and I'll give some margin bottom to the buttons. Okay, fine. Now see. So the card looks like this. Okay. So you can customize it by putting some custom width. Like if I can directly put W25, then it will become 25% like this. Okay. Can you see this card? It's looking like this. Or you can put styles on your own. Like suppose you put a class like width. Okay. Or maybe okay, W. I put a class called W, and at the top you have to put that in the style element. So what is that? W dot W is having width how much? Let's say 200 px. Okay, so not 200, make it 400. Okay. So this is the card. So this is how you can customize the things. So this is a very simple card. Okay, but we can have a card with, so this card is having only some content, that's it. But we can have cards with titles, text and links. Okay, we can have a title, we can have a subtitle, we can have some content, we can have some links. Okay, so for those already Bootstrap is providing classes for those things. We don't need to write like customized things. Okay, let me create some another card like that. So let me give some gap here so that you can understand. Yeah, so here I'll just put again MB5 and let me start the next card. So again we need to write the same thing. Class is equal to card. Inside card we will have so let me put some width for this. Width is, let's say, how much they use for this one. Okay, this width is fine. Same width I'll use. So I'll just put this W class here. That's enough, right? W. So inside the card class, we need the card body. So card body. Okay. So inside card body, now what I'll have, I want some title. So for that we have a class called card title. Okay. So let me put some heading tag like H5. Okay. Inside the H5, let me put the class that is card title. These are all preset classes in Bootstrap. Okay. So card title. So let me write here something like, okay, I'll just write card title. Okay. So then I want to have a card subtitle as well. So let me put a smaller heading like H6. And here I can use class equal to card subtitle. Okay. Card subtitle. And then we can write here card so I can write here card subtitle. Okay, then okay, then the content, for the content we didn't use any class earlier, isn't it? We just wrote it. But for the content also there is a what it is called, for the content also there is a class for that. Okay, so what I'll do is, so let's say I take a p tag and the class is card text. Okay, card text. So here I can write this part. This is the card text. Write whatever you want. Okay, so this is the card text, and you can add some links as well. Okay, so for example, I add one anchor tag. So in the anchor tag, I have to use a class. So the class is card link. Okay, so card hyphen link. So here I can write something like link 1, and I just copy this card link 2. Okay, fine. So this is the basic structure of a simple card. Okay, so let's save this, go to the browser and reload it. So this is what I got. Okay, and you can use a for this card subtitle, you can add text secondary or something. For example, text secondary, it will make it gray. Okay, so this is how a card looks like. Okay, so this is all about cards. I think this, so you can add images and all many things are there. Whatever you want, you can add in the card. Okay, it will look exactly whatever you want. Okay, so these are the two basic components I wanted to show you here, because we may need this in our upcoming topics, but a lot of other advanced components are there where we can interact, where we can click. So like drop downs, like accordions. Okay, those things we'll discuss when we go into advanced components. Okay, okay, fine. So that's about cards. Now let's move to our next topic. Now we will continue with our previous classes topics. So in the previous class, we saw some basic utilities. So now we'll see some advanced utilities. Okay, what are advanced utilities? What are advanced helpers? We'll see all those things. Okay, so the first topic that I want to discuss in the advanced utilities is flex. We know already in CSS we have flexbox. Flexbox are nothing but flexible boxes which are adaptive. How to place cards side by side? Yes, that is a very good question. That is the thing we will discuss now in the flex topic. Okay, so if I put directly card, so here I have one card, here I have another card, so they are coming not coming side by side, isn't it? So we can see here it is coming one after the other. This is coming here, then this is coming here. This is because card is a, what it is called, block level element, isn't it? This is a div, so that's why it is coming like that. So we'll see in flex how do we place things side by side, how to place block level elements side by side. Okay, that is the meaning of flexbox. That's what flexboxes do. Okay. Okay, let's see now. So whatever for flex, whatever it do in CSS, the same things we need to do here. In the parent class, we apply display flex, and we apply something like justify content and align items, all those things. And then we put the children inside the parent, whatever things we want to be flexible, whatever things we want side by side, we put it inside that div, isn't it? So for the first thing is we need a div. Okay, inside the div we need to place the things whatever we want. Okay, so should we go with cards? We can go with cards, no problem. Okay, so let's say this card I use one card, or let me not make it complex, let me use some small things. Later on you do the cards on your own. I'll show some simple things. Okay, the same thing you repeat with cards. Okay, okay, fine. So now let's say this is, so do we have any other class now? So I'll make d1, Then I have D2 and I'll have D3. Okay. So now this D1, D2, D3, let me give some styles for them. D1 will have width 50 px, height 50 px. Okay, that's fine. Now we'll apply some background color as well. So this is BG Danger. This is, and the same things will be used for D1, D2, D3 actually. Okay, let me put D1 for all of them. Yeah, only difference will be in the background color. So BG primary, I'll use it for the second one. That is, this one is red, this one is blue, and this one, let me put it as warning, BG warning. Okay, so red, blue, and yellow squares should come because height and width are same, so squares should come. So we are getting this. Okay, let me put a margin to the previous element. This is the container. Okay, let me put it inside the container. And for this card, I'll put one mark. Okay, so our divs, whatever div we created, 3 divs, they're looking like this. So they're div, so that means they're block level elements. So they're coming one after the other. They're not coming side by side. But the moment I put here in the parent div, the moment I put class equal to dflex, automatically everything will come side by side. Okay. Now I can do one thing. I can write here first, second, and third. Okay, just to show you. Yeah, first, second, third. Okay. Now, so they are in the correct order. First, second, third. Now let me show you something. So here, what is happening? In display flex, there is a flex direction. Okay. So by default, flex direction is a normal. That is, there is no value for it. Flex direction is okay, but we can reverse the flex direction as well. Okay. So there is some CSS style called flex direction reverse. Okay. And one more thing I want to tell you here, what is happening when we didn't apply the display flex, this direction is different. I mean, this is not direction. This is actually what to say. We can even achieve this kind of behavior using flex. Okay, so that is known as column. But this thing, when we get this kind of behavior, this is known as row. This is a flex row. Okay, so let me show you something like flex. If I write flex column here, dflex flex column, what will happen? It will come like this, just like normal divs. Okay, and if I remove this flex, instead of flex column, if I write flex row, it will come like this. Okay, so that means whenever I am not writing flex row, what is being applied? Flex row is getting applied by default. Okay, it is getting flex row by default. Okay, so now let's write this with flex row only. Okay, so there is no change because flex row was already there. Okay, now see, I wrote first, second, third. So it is coming first, second, third. But there's a class called flex row hyphen reverse. Okay, now what will happen? See, it is coming first, second, third, and from that side, isn't it? From the right side, from the opposite direction. So it is reversed now. Okay, first, second, third, it is coming like that. Okay, then we saw flex column is there. So it is coming first, second, third. Now if I write flex column reverse, then what will happen? It will come first, second, third from the bottom. Okay. So these are basic flex properties you should know. Flex row, flex column, flex row reverse, flex column reverse. Okay. Now let's see some more advanced things. Okay. So now we'll see what is justify content. So let's go back to our flex row. Okay. So in the flex row, now what is happening? If you inspect and see, it is actually flex row is actually occupying the whole width, isn't it? This div is it has the space, but it is not occupying. So we can do a lot of things with this. We can play with this. Okay, so let's play with it. So what are the things we need to do? So now we have in CSS we have justify content properties. So now what is happening? Just like even if I don't write flex row, it will look the same, isn't it? So just like that, there is something called justify content start. Even now there will be no change because this thing is getting applied by default. Even if you don't write it, it is getting it by default. Okay. Now instead of flex justify content start, if I write justify content end, it will go to the end. Okay, that is to the right side. Then justify content center, it will come to the middle. Okay, so these three things are very important. Then comes some other things like justify content between. What will happen now? See, first and third are going to the extreme ends and second is at the middle. Okay, then we have something called justify content around. Okay, justify content around. So in around, what happens? Let me put a border. Wait, you are not able to understand one thing. So in this div, let me put a border class. So border. So I think we saw some border classes yesterday. Border danger. So I'll use some border dark. Okay. So border dark. Okay. So now what will happen? We'll get a border. Now you can see. Let me show you now. Justify content start is like this. Justify content end is like this. Justify content center is like this. Justify content, what was that? Between is like this. Okay, so what is happening here? First and third are going to the extreme ends and second is at the middle. Then we have justify content around. So what happens here? So here we can see we are getting some space. So let me show you by inspecting what is happening here actually. Okay, so you can see the first okay, actually what is happening here, I'm not able to show you here, but actually what is happening here, the third one is having some margin kind of thing on the right side. The same thing is happening on the left side as well. You can see the width of this part, the same width is present here. Okay, so it is up to here. For example, for the third element, the margin is up to, gap is up to here. The remaining part is actually for the second one. So again on this side, second one is having up to here and the remaining is for the first part, and first part is also having the remaining left margin here. Okay, so this is happening in justify content around. Let me show you something. In the around, what is happening? We are getting equal gaps, but the gaps are not looking equal because here what is happening? We have the gap for second and the gap for third as well. So this gap and this gap is not equal, because if this is 1x, this is 2x, this is again 2x, again this is 1x, isn't it? So the space is not equal. So for that also we have a solution, that is, instead of around we can write evenly. Okay, if I write justify content evenly, what will happen? It will have equal gaps. Now you can see this is also 1x, this is also 1x, this is also 1x, this is also 1x. So this is how we can use flex utilities. Okay, so this is about justify content. Okay, now we have something called align items. So and for align items, we need to have, so where do we use justify content? We use justify content when we want to align it horizontally, isn't it? But suppose the height of each of the box is not same. So let me put some height for each box. So where are the boxes? So here I'll put h1, h2, and h3. Okay, so I'll put 3 more classes where the height will be different. So I'll remove the height from here and I'll put h1, h2, h3. So dot h1 is, let's say, 50 px. No, sorry, height is 50 px. Then dot h2 is, let's say, height is, let's say, 80 px, and we have another h3 which is having height, let's say, maybe 30 px. Okay, 50, 80, 30. Now how they will look like? They look like this, isn't it? And why the text has become very big? Okay, no problem. Yeah, fine, no problem. Just see what happens when we use this, what it is called, where do we use the align items? Okay, so now what is happening? They're aligned horizontally, that is okay, but vertically they are not looking nice. Okay, suppose everything is sticking to the top. So what is happening actually here? One thing is there, align items start. So if I write this, there won't be any change because this is applied by default. Okay, align items start, so there is no change. Now let me show you align items end. What will happen? Everything will come to the bottom. Okay, so this div is, let me increase the width of all the, let's say, 70. Yeah, and why are we getting a gap here? They're having margins because they are divs. Okay, so let me remove the margins from the div. So D1, so it is getting from D1, I guess. Yeah, so I'll just remove the margin. So margin, I'll put it as 0. Okay, okay, fine. Now we can see. So when the align items start was there, we can see everything was sticking to the top. Okay, now when I write here align items end, everything is sticking to the bottom. Okay, then we have align items center, which will make them in the center so that they will look nice. Okay, so now everything is aligned to the center vertically as well as horizontally. In both the aspects, they are in the center, they are aligned. Okay, as per our requirement. Okay, so this is about align items. Okay, I think this much is enough. Okay, because these are the main flex. There are a lot of other flex utilities as well, but what we use here, deflex, flex row, flex column, flex row reverse, flex column reverse, justify content start, justify content end, justify content center, justify content between, justify content evenly, and align items start, align items end, and align items center. These are the most important flex utilities you need. Using these utilities, you can create any kind of layout in the world. Okay, there is no layout in the world which cannot be created using flex. Okay, I create everything. Every website can be created using flex. If you know flex, you can create anything. There you will never find any problem. Okay, so for me, I don't know about others, but for me, the only thing I need in Bootstrap is display flex. That's it. Okay. Okay, fine. So that is about display flex, deflex. Okay, now let's move on to our next utility, that is known as position. Okay, how do this position work? So in normal CSS, we have seen position. In position, what happens? We have position static, position relative, position absolute. Actually, relative and absolute are the most important things. And some more are there, position sticky and all those things, position fixed. They are fine. They are sticky and fixed are needed for nav bars and all. But I'll focus more on this position relative and absolute now, because they help us to create some different kind of layouts. Let me show you. So first, let's see how do we create this thing, that is how this position relative and absolute works. Okay, okay, fine. So we know, so for example, let me go here. We have notifications, right? So notifications, so images, something like this. How do you create this? This bell icon can be created. This one can also be created, but how do you place the one here at one corner? This is important. This can be achieved using position relative and position absolute. Okay, so this one, so this to this parent element we apply position relative, and this one will be the child where we apply position absolute. Okay, let me show you some more examples. Are there anything more? These are not the case. So again, this one. Okay, same kind of things. These are all same kind of things. Yeah, this thing. Okay, so how do we create these kind of things? So for these we need the position utility. Okay, so first let's see the basics, then we'll go into how to create those things. First, let's understand how this position relative and absolute works. Okay, so what we will do is we'll create one parent. So let me again put some margin bottom here so that our it will not stick to the next item. So here I create a div and I give some class. Let's say I write here P is for parent, maybe. Okay, and I'll have another div here that will be the child. So I'll put here as C. Okay, parent and child. Now let me write some styles for this. So for parent class dot P, I'll use something like width is 200 px and height is also 200 px. So it is a square. And for the child, I'll keep it as small square. Okay, so dot C will be what do I write here? Yeah, width is maybe 50 px. Okay, and the height is also 50 px. Okay, fine. Now let's apply some color. So how do we apply color? So to this I'll apply BG warning, and to this I can apply BG danger. Okay, Now let's see how they are looking like. Okay, so here they are looking like this. So what is happening? The parent is the yellow colored square and child is the red colored square. So, and by default, what is happening? The child is at the top left corner. Okay, so we need to change the position of this square. Okay, so we have a lot of things that we can do. So, but to change the position of this red square, we need to have position relative and absolute present in these two elements. So what we need for the parent, we need position relative. That is a must. Okay, so here what I'll do, I'll write, we have a bootstrap class that is position hyphen relative. Okay, and to the child I have to apply position hyphen absolute. Don't worry, these are all basic CSS. This is not like we have to do this in Bootstrap. No, it's not like that. This thing, these classes are from Bootstrap, that is okay. But if you know normal CSS, in normal CSS also what we have to do, to this P class we have to apply position relative, to this C class we have to apply position absolute. That is a must. Otherwise you can never move the red square. Okay. Okay, now we need to give some. So even if you save this, we'll not get anything because there is no change in the position. So now we have to change the position of the red square. So what possibilities we have? I can write here top 0 and start 0. Top means top, start means left. From the top 0 position I need to move, that is I don't want to move from top. Start 0 means I don't want to move from the left. So that means we'll get no change. So that means by default it is having top 0 and start 0. Okay, now is a 0, instead of 0 we have three values, that is 0, 50 and 100. So these are 0%, 50% and 100%. Top 50 means 50% from the top. Start 50 means 50% from the left. Okay, top 100 means 100% from the top, so that will come to the bottom. And start 100 means 100% from the left, that means it will come to the right. Okay, so now let's check one by one what happens when we change little bit. Okay, so just like top 0 start 0, we have top 0 end 0. That means 0% from the top and 0% from the right. End means right, so it will move to the right side. So let's see, can you see it has moved to the right side? Okay, then how can we change? Then I can write top 50 and start 50. Okay, top 50 start 50 will give you something like this. From the top it has come 50% and from the left it has come 50%. So after that it is placed, so it is coming little bit to the right side. Okay, then what we can see, then we can see something like bottom 50 and end 50. How it will look like? It will look like this. From the bottom it has come 50%, from the right it has come 50%. Okay, then bottom 0 and start 0. What is the meaning of that? From the bottom it will not move, from the left it will not move, that is left bottom corner. Okay, then we can write bottom 0 end 0. That means left right bottom corner. Okay, okay, fine. But there is a problem here. When we are using bottom 0 end 0, bottom 0 start 0, top 0 start 0, top 0 end 0, these are okay. But when we used top 50 and start 50, there was a problem. If you notice, top 50 means from the top it should come 50%, it should be exactly in the middle, and start 50 means it is coming from the left 50%. That means it is again, it should be in the middle, but it was not looking like middle. Why? Because this is the middle line. So it is placed after the middle line. In the same way, from the top to bottom, this is the middle line and it is placed after the middle line. Okay, so it is not centered actually, it is going after that. So for that, what we have is, we have another thing that is called, so if you want to place it in the exact center, we have something called translate middle. Let me show you. Translate middle. So if I do like this, it will come exactly to the center. Okay, so this is how you can change the position of the items. Okay, so let's say, so this is top 0, okay, top 50, start 50. So if I write top 0 and start 0, translate middle, what will happen? It will look like this. Okay, then top 0 end 0 will look something like this. What happened? Yeah. So it is translate middle, that's why it is looking like this. Otherwise it will go outside. So for that, what we can do, so if you write here, instead of end 0, if I write start 100, that means from the start 100%, then it will go to this corner. Okay, like this you can try all other possibilities. Top 50 start 100, top 100 start 0, top 100 start 50, and see how it is placed, where it is placed. Okay, so on, so it won't move anywhere you want, it will go something like this. Either it will be placed here or it will be placed here. So how many possibilities are? 9 possibilities are there. This place, this place, this place, then this place, this place, and this place, and 6, 7 place, 8 place, and 9. So 9 positions are there. All the 4 corners and all the 4 middle parts, that makes 8, and 1 in the center, that means 9. Okay, so 9 possibilities are there using Bootstrap. Okay, fine. So that's all about what it is called. That's all about position. Okay, this much is enough for the position utility. Now let me try to create something, and let me do something like this. So we saw some notification, so let me try to create something like that. So what I'll do is, I'll have something like this. Parent width height was there, so I'll write border radius 50%, and here also border radius 50%. Let's see what happens. So we got something like this. Okay, and we can move this circle more here, but this thing is not possible in Bootstrap. Okay, we'll see, we'll do that using buttons. Okay, using pure CSS, this can be moved to this part, and it can resemble a notification. But let's work with buttons. We'll work with buttons, so let's see that. So that's why I showed you the buttons in the beginning, so that we can work here. So let me create a button. So yeah, I'll just remove these things. Yeah, fine. Okay, now, so where did this end? It ended here. Okay. Again, I'll put MB4, and so let's say I have a button. Okay, and to the button, let me add some class like Btn primary. Okay, Btn primary, and also a position relative. Okay, Btn primary and position relative. And in the button, I want to write something like mails. Okay, because it is it will show us mails, number of mails, mail notifications or something. Okay, Now here with the mails, I have to put one that number, how many mails are there, 10 mails, 20 mails, notification number we have, isn't it? So I want to put that. So what I can do is I can put a span. Inside that span, I'll put a class. Class is equal to position absolute. Okay, so that is must, relative and absolute must be there. Then I can give some what it is called, background color, let's say BG danger. Okay, or BG success. I can BG success won't look nice, BG danger. Okay, then I have to give the positions at what position I want it. Okay, so let me use here top 0 and start 100, so that it will move to the extreme right, top right. Okay, then I'll put translate middle as well, so that it will be aligned to the middle. Okay. Now let's see how does it look like. It is looking like, okay, fine. We didn't write anything inside the span. So inside the span, we have to write the number. Okay, so let's say I write here plus 10. So it is looking like this. Okay, but this thing is not something like a rounded or something. So for that also we have some classes, like we can add to the span. I can add something like badge. There's a class called badge, and we can write here rounded pill. Okay, if I write like this, it will look like this. So I hope you are able to see this. So I'll put a margin bottom as well, MB5. So this is the thing I have created. So this is how we create notification kind of things. Okay, let me show you another one, another basic one. Okay, so let me have here button. In that button, again I'll put the same classes, Btn primary, position, relative, all those things. Okay, inside the button, so I'll write something like alerts or something. Oh, sorry, alerts. And then I'll have again a span. In this span, again I need the same things, but I'll remove some of them. This span I can write, I don't want to write anything now. Okay, inside the span. So here position absolute, top 0, BG danger, start 100, translate middle, all is okay. So I'll remove this rounded pill. Instead I'll write a rounded circle. Okay, yeah, and some padding P2. Wait, what happened here? MB5 I have applied. Okay, fine. Do I need to write something here? Okay, yeah, it is coming. Something is coming. But what we can do here is we have something called here in the span. I can add a class called visually hidden. So if I write this text will not be there. Okay, and why is it not working? Let me check. Okay. So what I need to do is inside this span, I want to have another span. Okay, here I'll write something like hi, or I'll write here unread messages. Okay, to this span, I'll apply class equal to visually hidden. Yeah, until And what else did I miss? Visually hidden. Here I want to remove this. Yeah, now it will look nice. So this is how we can create this kind of thing. Okay, but why the it is not having any gap? Okay, no problem. I'll apply some M5. Will it work? Yeah. Okay, MB5 and MS5. Yeah. So now we can see these two buttons. This is with some text. This is without any text. Okay. So this is how you can create this kind of notification buttons or alert buttons like this. Okay. So this is all about positions. So till now we have completed the advanced utilities. Okay. Now we'll move on to another topic, that is the advanced helpers. So yesterday we saw some basic helpers. Today we'll see some advanced helpers. Okay. So in advanced helpers, what we'll do is we saw the flex, isn't it? Now we'll do the flex in a simpler way. But whatever flex we did today, this is very flexible. That means we can do a lot of things, like we can do flex row reverse, flex column reverse, justify content evenly, justify content center. Many things are there, isn't it? So a lot of things can be done using this. But if helper classes are there, some helper classes are there in Bootstrap, which can be used to exactly create the flex kind of behavior, but with limited flexibility. That means we can't do a lot of justify content evenly, a space around center and all those things. A lot of things can't be done, but simple flex item can be created using the stacks. It is known as stacks helper classes. Okay, that is not that good like flex, but it resembles like flex. Okay, let's see that. So what I'll do is after these buttons, okay, let me create something. So first we'll see a vertical stack. These are actually stacks. Okay, these are not flex actually, but they have a behavior like flex. So they are so that's why I'm saying that we can use this stack for as a replacement for flex. Okay, so let me show you how does this work. So we'll have a div. Okay, inside this div we have a class called a vstack. So first we'll see the vertical stack. So vstack and hstack, two are there. So that means vstack means this is a column and hstack means horizontal. So that means they are what it is called, they are rows. Okay, and one more thing I forgot to show you in the flex. Let me go back to our flex things. So I wrote here the flex row, how it is looking like. Okay, let me change these things. So I'll remove the h1s. Okay, and flex row, that is fine. Justify content, I'll remove it. Align item center also we don't need if they are having same height. Remember, if all the items are having same height, we don't need align item center. Okay. Okay, fine. Now how is it looking like? It is looking like this. So we need to have a height for each of them. So height 50px, I'll just apply it to the D1. Okay, fine. Now it is fine. Okay, now suppose I want the first item here and second and third at the end. Then what do I do? Suppose I want first and second here, third at the end. Then what do I do? So let me show you something. So here all are aligned to the start. Okay, justify content start is being applied actually when I don't write anything. So where are flex items? Yeah, this one. So what I do here is I apply not to the parent. So which one? Suppose I want the third item to be at the extreme right, only the third item. When I want all the three items at the right, I was writing justify content end. That is okay. But I want only one at the end, right, and first and second at the left. Then what do I do? So for the last one, what I do is I apply one class called MS Auto. That means margin left auto. So what will happen? The third will move to the last. Okay. The same class, if I apply it to the second item, the second and third will move to the last, like this. Okay. This is how this MS Auto works. So we need these kind of things in nav bars, isn't it? What happens is, let me show you. Suppose I have, well, let me show you a nav bar. Image. See this nav bar. Something is at the extreme right and everything is at the this nav bar text is at the left and these are at the right. So how do you create this kind? So we, for that we need that margin auto. Okay, MS Auto, ME Auto, we need all those things. So that is very important. That's why I wanted to show. Okay, fine. Now let's get back to our stacks. What stacks we were seeing. Okay, so for the, let's create the vertical stack first. So div, here I have a class called vstack. Okay, vstack, and we need to give a gap class, gap3. Okay, then inside this div I'll have 3 divisions, that is whatever we want. So div, so I'll apply some styles to this div class equal to, let's say, bg light. Okay, then I'll apply border class, so it will have some border as well. Okay, so I'll write here first. Okay, then I'll just paste it 3 times. This is second, this is third. Okay, that's it. Now let's see how does this look like. We added only 2 things, vstack and gap3. These are already there from beginning. These are not related to vstack and all those. Okay, so now let's save this and go to the browser and reload it. So it is coming here at the bottom. Can you see? We are getting first, second, and third, and it is having some gap. So this gap is because of this gap3 I applied, and it is a vertical stack. One by one it is coming. Okay, is it fine? So and you can apply some padding here also, so that it will look nice. You'll have some padding in the bodies. Yeah, so this is how the vertical stack looks like. Okay, can we apply? Okay, fine. So now let's create the horizontal stack. Okay, so I'll create a horizontal stack. Same thing, I'll copy and I'll apply a margin bottom here. And here, instead of v stack, I have to write here h stack. Okay, gap3. So let me create some other things, like not a bg light. Bg will be, let's say, maybe danger. Okay, bg danger, all will be bg danger. And we can remove the border actually. Okay, now let's see how does it look like. So it is looking like this. Can you see? This is like the first item we saw at the beginning. Okay, here we can't apply all those justify content and align items, but simple flex item can be created using stack. Okay, where you don't want any customization. If you want customization, you have to go for display flex, that is deflex and all those things. Okay, but if you want to just place it side by side, you can use this. Okay, so these are some of the things. Now coming to that, margin utilities can also be applied here. Okay, so to this horizontal stack, I can create something like this. This third item, I placed it at the end, isn't it? So this can also be done. So just to the third item, I just need to apply the MS Auto. That's it. Whatever I applied to the previous case. So the third has come to the left. Right. Okay. So if I am apply the MS Auto to the second one, it will just second and third will come. Okay. So that's it for stacks. Okay. Okay. Fine. Now we'll go to the next topic. Let's see what is there in the next. Yeah. So now we'll go to a topic called the grid layouts. So these were very simple layouts where we saw horizontal and vertical aligning the items and all those things. But we'll have something called grid layout. So what is grid layout? See, these kind of structures, this kind of structure. How do we create this kind of structure? Okay, we'll see these things. This kind of grids, how do you create? See this, how nice it is looking. So this kind of things we'll create. Okay, fine. Okay, so now for the grid, we have some class called a row and col. Okay, row and col means a row and column. So let me create a div. So the parent div will have a class called a row, and the child things will all have grid. Okay, so now let me tell you one thing. You can see here CSS grid. Are they showing the original picture? Wait, oh god. No, they're not showing that. So they're writing 1, 2, 3, 4, but actually up to 12. 12 elements can be placed maximum. A maximum of 12 items can be placed. Okay. Actually not 12 items. The width is of 12 units. Okay. So let's say if it is 12 meters, you can place 2 6-meter items. Are you getting it? If you have, so let me show you here. So I have a box. Okay, so this box is, let's say it is of 12 meter. Okay, if it is 12 meter, then how many what is the size of the items I can place here? I can place here 1, 2, 6-meter items, isn't it? Both should be 6-meter, then only this 12-meter will be matching. Or I can place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 items means all should be 2 meters, isn't it? Or I can place 1, 2, 3. That means all are 4 meter, something like that, isn't it? So it should always match up to 12. That's it. We need to only think. We need to only keep in mind one thing, that whatever we are adding, items we are adding, that should add up to 12. The sum of all the items should be 12. Okay, so that's what we need to see here. Okay, so now let me show you how this grid thing works. So we have a row here. Now let me put some divs here. Okay, so this div, I have to give some heights, right? So let me create. How many I can create? I said 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I can remove this one. Okay, now to this div, I can apply one. Do we have any height classes? Height ppx, yeah, h1 is there. Let me put h1 here. Again I did some mistake. So here, along with the height, I need to give another class that is called col. Okay, col means column. Okay, so we have 12 divs inside the row class. Okay, now let's see what happens when we do this. And one more thing, we added only the h1, so I'll apply a background as well. Okay, again I'll remove it. So h1 call and then bg primary. Okay, that is enough, I think. Okay, fine. Now let's see how is this looking like. Save this, go to the browser, reload it. So you are getting something like this. Okay, but here actually 12 items are there, but there is no gap in between. That's why you are not getting it. So let me put a border class to all those things. So in the h1, what is that h1? Yeah, border 5px solid white. Okay, so don't need a 5px, 2px. Yeah, see. So how many items are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 items can be placed side by side using this grid layout. Okay, row and call. Okay, so in the same way, we can place, if I place 2 items, what will happen? It will have 6, 6. Okay, if I place 3 items, it will be 4, 4, 4, like that. Okay, now but these are all equal. If you have observed carefully, when I put here 12 items, all items were equal, isn't it? When I put 2 items, both the items are equal. When I put 3 items, then also all the 3 items were of equal width. Okay, but suppose I want something like I want variable weights. For the first one, I want 75% weight. Second one, I want 25% weight. Then what do I do? Okay. For the first one, I want 30% weight. Second one, I want 70% weight. Then what do I do? Okay. So for that, let me show you what can be done. So we have something called here call hyphen one number. What number it is? That is the, I told you about 12, right? It should add up to 12. So if I write here call 1, then if I write here call 2, then here what I have to write, it should add up to 12. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus what is 12? Can you tell me? Hello? 3 plus what will give you 12?
3 plus 9.
Yes, 3 plus 9. So I just place here 9. So you just need to keep in mind only one thing, that sum of these 3 numbers should be 12. That's it. Okay. So call 1, call 2, call 9. Now see what will happen. See this. We got 3 different things. So one is of 1 meter, let's say. You can say 1 unit. This is 2 unit. This is 9 units. Okay. Suppose you want call 4, call 5, and call 3. 4 plus 5, 9, 9 plus 3, 12. So you got this. Okay. So whatever you want. Suppose 2 columns are there and you want call 5 and call 7. Okay, like this. Call 3, call 9. You'll get this. Call 1. If it is call 1, then it should be call 11. That's it. Okay. This is how we create this kind of layouts. Now let's say I want to create that 3 into 3 kind of layout. That means vertically 3 and horizontally 3. Then what do I do? So I don't place any call here. Call, I don't need any numbers. I just place 3 items. Okay, so this is one row. So how much it will have? It will have like this. Okay, so then I'll just repeat this 3 times. Okay, so what do I get here? I get something like this. So this is a grid layout with 3 into 3 boxes. Okay, This way you can create any number of layouts. So let's say I have here 4, here also 4, here also 4. So it will give you 4 into 3. Okay. So this is how you can create grid layouts. Okay. So in this grid layouts, if you place the cards, then it will look like an e-commerce application. What we get in Flipkart or something. Let me show you. So let's say I go to Flipkart, and in Flipkart, let me select one topic. Let's say, yeah, some laptops. Oh, not this kind of layout. Mm, you can say this is also a grid layout. That is not a wrong thing. But sometimes we get that grid kind of layout, right? So these layouts, whatever we are seeing here, these are all grids actually. We are having so many items here. We have so many items here, isn't it? So this is also a grid layout. So many phones are placed here. So this is a big row. Okay. Like this kind of layouts you can create using this grid. Okay. So this is all about grid. Now, I hope this is clear. Here you can customize and put anything. You can put cards, you can put elements, you can put. So this is like a table kind of structure, but in table you can't do everything. So here you can do a lot of things. Okay. And I have already shown you how to put different size as well. The only thing is you just need to add up to 12. That's it. Okay. Okay. Fine. Now let's come to a next topic. So up to here, actually, most of the things are done. Now we'll see some forms kind of thing. Okay. So I'll create so this page has become already too clumsy. So many things are there. Let me create a new file. Okay. So I'll create class 2, and this one will be forms.html. Yeah. So here I'll have the HTML tag. Inside the HTML tag, I have the head. After the head, I have the body. Okay, so I'll just copy the things. The body, I need the script tag at the end. Then in the head, I want these links. So this is only the, okay, fine. Already script is there at the end. Okay, fine. Now we can start working on forms. So forms, in HTML forms, whenever we create, the boxes are like square kind of things. They don't look that much nice. They just, the one label will be there, one input field will be there. So input fields will be just rectangular boxes, isn't it? So these can be customized in a better way using Bootstrap. Okay, so let me show you. So in the body, what I'll do is, let me have a div, and this div, I'll put some class like MB3 or MB4. Okay, so here, so what I want to do is, here I will have one input field, another input field I will have below. So for that, I am putting this MB3. Okay, so that it will have some gap between the two. So here I will have another div. This will MB3. Okay, so to create some gap between this one and this one, I'm giving this MB3. Okay, so inside this we'll create the thing, input field. So for every input field we need a label, isn't it? So label will be having one for. What is this for? We'll see now. Okay, now this label will have a class called form label. Okay, and let's say I write here first name. Okay, first name. And next we have, after the label, I have an input field, input type equal to text, that is fine. And then we'll have class called form control. So this is very important. So let me first show you how does this look like without all these classes. Okay, so how do they look like? So this file is different, right? So let me open this. Yeah, so this is a plain HTML form input field and one label. So it is just plain, it is not having any styles, it is just looking plain. So what we do is now we apply these classes. Okay, so form label, and then I have something called form control. Okay, now here I need one ID as well. So ID is equal to, this ID is not needed, but it is better to write like this. Okay, whenever you are writing form inputs, so it is not for Bootstrap. Whenever if you are writing pure HTML CSS also, there also you should have an ID, which is, let's say, input one. Okay, so the same ID you should pass it to the for attribute. Okay, so I wrote input type equal to text, class equal to form control, ID equal to something, and that's it. Okay, now let's save this and go to the browser and reload it. So it is looking like this. Can you see? Okay, I should put it in a container. So div class equal to container, and inside this container I'll place this whole thing. Okay, now see how it is looking like. It is looking like this: first name and then this. Okay, so by default what it is doing, earlier the first name was coming side by side, but when I use this form label, it automatically made it brought the input field to the next line. Okay, so first name is this, and the input field is now looking better, and when I click my mouse on it, a blue border is coming showing that this is active now. It is having the focus. Okay, so next I have another div. Here also I can put one more. So label. So in the label for, I'll write something. Then class equal to form label. And then after the form label, I just write here something like feedback or something. Feedback. So maybe a feedback box will put. So that is known as a text area. Okay, so in the text area, name ID, okay, fine, name I don't need it now. So I'll just put this as feedback. So the same ID I have to pass it to the for. Okay, calls 30, rows 10, okay, fine. Yeah, that is fine. And here I need the class equal to form control, otherwise it will look very plain. Okay, now let's save this, go to the browser and reload it. So this is the feedback I got. So you can see when I click on it, the blue border comes showing that this is the active box, and here again the blue box is coming. So this is how we use the form control. So only two things are important in forms, that is the form label and the form control. Okay, so whether it is input type equal to text, input type equal to email, password, or whether it is a radio buttons or it is checkbox, you just apply the form control. That's it. Nothing else is to be done. You'll have some blue kind of styling in every element, and that's how it works. Okay. Now this is, there is something called sizing. Okay, so this is a normal size form control. Okay, so let me write something here. We have this input field, right? So I wrote form control. Let me write here form control, another class, that means form control sm. Okay, now what will happen? It has become small. Can you see the height of the thing? Let me show you here. Form control sm. This one will not have the form control sm, it will have only form control, and another one will have form control lg. Okay, just see the difference. So this is having small height, this is having more height, this is having the highest. height. Okay, so this is form control SM, this is form control, this is form control LG. Okay, like this you can increase or decrease the height if you want. Okay, that's all. And if you want to disable it, just add the disable attribute. That's it. What is it? Suppose for the first one I want to add disabled. Okay, just it will disable the first item. You can't click on this. Okay, fine. So that's all about the forms. That is enough. And what so only one thing you need to remember: whenever this input field will be there, in input field you just need to add form control, and to the label you just need to add form label. That's it. That basic level of form classes is enough. Okay, fine. Now actually the thing is complete, but we will go into the advanced components, which does saw only buttons and that is called buttons and cards, isn't it? So we'll see some more components now. So let me create a file. So I'll write here components.html. Okay, so I'll just copy everything and paste it there, and I'll remove all these things. Okay, fine. Now, so these components are actually what to say, they are something like drop downs or some models, pop-up model. Then we have accordions. So these things are provided by Bootstrap. So let's go to Bootstrap website and let me show you, because these are just copy paste things actually, but I'll let you understand what is happening. So we have something called components. So in the components we have accordions. So what are accordions? Accordions are something like this. Okay, these kind of things are accordions. So for this, a big code is here. So much of code is here. You just need to copy it and paste it, but you should understand what is happening. So let's say here we have three things, isn't it? Accordion 1, accordion 2, and accordion 3. Okay, so here we have div class equal to accordion. This is the main container for the whole three items. Okay, so we have accordion item. So this is one accordion item, this is two accordion item, this is three accordion item. So that's it. And then we have inside the accordion item, this is known as accordion. This is accordion items #1 is known as accordion header. Okay, so accordion header will be having one button and it will have this text. Okay, then we have inside this accordion item only, we have accordion header and as well as one more div that is written here, collapse one, accordion collapse. There's a class called accordion collapse. This part is what? This part is this hidden item. This is hidden by default when it is shown. So this part is having this class accordion collapse. Okay, so you can't remember all these classes. So many things will be there. For accordion, so many classes are there. For alerts, again classes will be there. Again we have drop down. Where are drop down? Here drop downs. Also for drop down also code is very long. You have class drop down, you have drop down menu, drop down item, drop down toggle. So you can't remember everything. So you just need to copy paste these things, but you need to understand what is happening. What is drop down menu? Drop down menu means one, the part that comes below is the drop down menu. Okay, so that's it. I just want to show you. So I'll just copy this code and paste it here. What will happen? Let's see. I just pasted it. So much of code, and yeah, so this is what we got. Okay, the same thing we got here, but you just need to go through the code. What is happening? What is the item? So this is the accordion item. So from here to here, this is the accordion item, isn't it? Up to here actually. Yeah, so in the accordion item we have an accordion header. This is the whole header part, and this is the hidden part. Okay, that comes below. When I click on the header, this part will be open. Okay, but by default it will be collapsed. Collapsed means it is closed. Okay, so when I click on this, it will be shown. So show class is here. Okay, again inside the show, that box we are having heading, we are having text, whatever you want, you can put images, anything. Okay, like that. Like that, three things are there. So this is about accordion. Then what are the most important components? I'll show you. So accordion is very important, you can use it. This is a very useful component. Then alerts are not that much useful, you can use it if you want. Okay, badge, we use that badge today in notifications. Okay, so this is the badge, this 4 is coming in a gray box, that is a badge. Okay, then we have seen buttons. Okay, breadcrumb, these are not that important, buttons are very important, we have seen that. Then I'll show you about drop downs. Yeah, so drop down is very important. So in drop downs, again you need to understand the code, what is happening. So this div class equal to drop down is the container, and inside that what is happening, a button is there. So this is the main button, so this is the button, and we have a unordered list below. What is this list? Actually the list of items is what is to be displayed here. Okay, so this is known as a class equal to drop down menu. So this whole thing is a drop down menu, UL class and li. So we have so many li, 3 li are there. So 1 2 3, 3 li's are there, and these are having drop down item class. Okay, so you just copy it and paste it in your code just after the what is this? This is accordion. Okay, so I can paste it here, and in the in the drop down I can just MP5, some margin I can put. So here I can see I got a drop down button. So this is how it is working. Okay, so you can customize this text. So it is written drop down button. So I can write here, instead of drop down button, I can write here, select your language. Okay, and these are the items. I can write here English, Hindi, and Telugu here. Okay, so it is customized now. So now you can see here, if I reload it, it is showing select your language, and English, Hindi, Telugu has come. Okay, so that means what you need to customize, you need to customize this button for what is to be shown in the text, and these are the drop down items. That's it, you can change it, and if you want more, you can add more. Okay, let's say here we will add another language, maybe some Tamil. So it will come here, it's coming here. Okay, so that is very simple. In the same way for the accordion also, you can change whatever you want. Actually, you just see where the accordion item #1 is written. #1 will be in the accordion header. Okay, so you can see here there is an accordion header class. Inside here accordion item 1 is written here. So instead of this, you can write here hello. So it will come hello here. Can you see hello has come here? Okay, this text also you can change. Where is this text? Text is inside this accordion body class. Okay, inside this accordion body you can write whatever you want. So you can write here Bootstrap components are awesome. Okay, full stop, that's it. So it will change the text. So here Bootstrap components are awesome is coming. Okay, so this way you can customize all the text and just use it in your project. Okay, then any more important components are there? This group, you can go through this button group as well. This is also very good. Okay, 3 buttons together, how to place. So you can use this class. Okay, so like see, these things are they look very good. Can you see? They look very good. So these are very simple. You just copy paste and see what is happening here. There is some Btn group class is there inside where only simple buttons are there. Okay, like that. Okay, so then we have this card. So we have already seen this card. We have seen this simple card. Do you remember? We have seen this simple card. and also we have seen something like this. Okay, so this way you can have complex cards like this. Here they are just adding one image and everything is same. Card and card body classes are still there. Okay, this is one of the components. Then we have something called carousel. Okay, so carousel, what is carousel? It is something like this. First slide, second slide, third slide, we can keep on sliding like this. Okay, these are also important, but mostly this drop down, then accordions, these are very important. And one more thing I want to show you, that is the model class. So how does this model work? So this model is having something like this. You have a button. When you click on this button, a model comes up. Okay, so here what is there? Close is there, it will close it. Save changes, then close. Or you have a close button here as well, you can click on it. Okay, this way also it can be done. So for this, what we need is, we need this whole code. So in this whole code, you just copy it and I'll let you understand what is happening here. Okay, so let's say, where did we end our drop down? Yeah, here we ended our drop down. So here I'll add this model class, and here I'll use, instead of empty, I'll use my. Okay, fine. So now you can see, here I reload it, I got this button. So how does this button work? When I click on it, this model pop-up is coming. Okay, so this is known as a model. So how do we use this? How do we explain the code? How do you understand the code? So here what is happening, we have a button. This is the button. Okay, launch demo model, that is the button, isn't it? So we can customize this button. You can write here something like open model. Okay, then the button is changed to open model. Okay, now after this button, here in this button there is something called database target equal to hash example model. That means this is the id of this div. So here we have a id equal to example model. So if this thing and this thing is not matching, it will not open. Okay, let me write here in this id. If I write abc, now what will happen? This is not able to open it. Okay, so if you want to open it, this abc, you have to write it here along with this hash. Okay, because it is an id. So abc, or database target equal to hash abc. Now only now it will work. Okay, so we have this database target. Okay, and the id should match. Okay, other things you just copy it, like database toggle equal to model, all those things. Okay, so here we have the model. So here it is shown, from here the model is starting. So here we have a class equal to model fade id we have, and all those things. Okay, so here we have the model dialog. Then we have a model content. So model content is the body of the model. Here we have a model header. So what is the model header? This is the model header, model title. So you can write here in the model header, you can change this what you want. Let's say welcome to Bootstrap. Okay, so if I write like this, now what will happen? It is showing welcome to Bootstrap. Okay, so this is the model header. Then we have the model body. In the model body, we are not writing anything, we are writing dot dot dot. That's why what I am getting here, dot dot dot. Okay, so here in the model body, whatever you want, this is like the card body. In the card body class, whatever you write, it will come here, isn't it? So here I can write here, Bootstrap models are very useful to show important information. Okay, so if I write this in the model body, what will happen? In the model body, this text will come. Okay, so you can put not only text, you can put images, you can put videos, you can put anything. Okay, whatever you want, you can put here. Then we have a model footer. What is this model footer class? This model footer is this save changes and close button. Okay, here whatever you write, that will come there. So here we have two buttons, close and save changes. Okay, So suppose you don't want two buttons, only one button you want. So you can remove one of the buttons. This save changes button you don't want, you can remove it. And here instead of close, if you want cancel, you can put cancel. Okay, but for if you see for the save changes button, there this part was not there. Database dismiss equal to model. This is needed for closing the model. Okay, when I click on save changes, the model was not closing because this part is not there in the save changes part. Okay, so if I put this in the save changes button as well, then what will happen, it will be able to close it. So when I click on save changes, it is closing. If it is not there, it will not close. Okay, so suppose I don't want this save changes button. Okay, I only want this close button, and instead of close I want to write cancel. So that's it. So I'm adding only one button now. So I'll have only one button, cancel, it will close. Okay, so this database model, a database dismiss equal to model is important for closing. That means this should be there in this close symbol also, isn't it? So close symbol is inside where? In the header. So in the header, if you see model header, you have a button called close, and this close is also having database dismiss equal to model. Okay, the same thing that is here. So this thing, wherever it will be there, it will close the model. Okay, so for example, in the model body, if I have one let's say one span. Okay, in this span, if I add this database dismiss equal to model, if I write here close this model, okay, then what will happen, this span, I'll put some bg. Okay, class equal to bg danger. Okay, now see, so this span is having a close this model. When I click on this, it is closing the model. Okay, so that means wherever this database dismiss equal to model will be there, it will always close the model. Okay, so this is how pop-up models work. Okay, I think that is enough. These lot of components are there, you can go through them. These are very important, but whatever I have shown, those are important. Okay, then let's say we have a nav bar. Yeah, so this nav bar is also important. So this nav bar you can show like this. Okay, look, so let's see a simple nav bar, not a complex like this. We have some colored nav bars. Let me check whether these are there. These are the colored nav bars. So here you can add bg dark, bg primary, bg secondary, whatever you want. Okay, and inside this content they are not writing anything, so you have to take this from other things, whatever you want in the nav bar. If you don't want anything, then don't write anything. But suppose you want only one or two items, like this thing. Yeah, this one is a very good one. So you can copy this and paste it. So here nothing is there, just what it is called, nav items are there. Okay, one list of items are there, ul. This ul is responsible for the whole items. In the ul, each li is whatever you want, just like the drop down. Okay, this is nav link, and every nav link is responsible for it. So here home, features, pricing, and disabled is there. So home, features, pricing, and disabled, that's it. Other things you just don't need to remember anything, you just need to paste it, you just need to see what is there in nav link. Okay, in nav link you just need to paste what you want, that's it. Every item should be one nav link. Okay, so this is how nav bars work. Other items you can go through, but they're not very important. Popovers are there. Popovers, for example, let me show you. See this, if I click, it is showing some information. This is a popover. So it is just like drop down only. Okay, because it will have one button and it will have some content what to show. Okay, so this is just like drop down. You can see popover on top, popover on right, popover on bottom, popover on left. So these things can be changed from here. So here what they're doing, data BS placement equal to top, data BS placement equal to right, data BS placement equal to bottom. So whatever you want, bottom, top, right, left, whatever you give, it will work. So this is exact like drop down actually, but little bit with different styling. Okay. So that's it. We'll do one project in the next session. Okay. So there, what we'll do, we'll not see any more topics. Whatever topics I have shown till now is enough. We're using these topics only. See, we have a lot of things in Bootstrap, but I am not going through everything. But whatever I have shown till now, these things are enough to create any kind of website. Okay. So we'll, whatever topics we have discussed till now, using these topics, we'll create one or two. Let's say if it is a big website, then we'll do one. If it is small, then we'll do two. Okay, we'll try to complete all those things in the next session. Okay. Okay, then thank you. Let's end this session here.